Okay, so this one's to all you perpetrators out there. I'm gonna try to get a few gears turning in that thick skull of yours, so just give a little listen. Clearly, you all think that you're part of the team, part of the club, on the in crew, at the same level as you know your handlers, their bosses, etc. What you need to understand is that you're at the freaking lowest level of this whole infrastructure. And the way it's structured is so that it's designed to protect the people giving the commands and orders and strategizing all this. And really, you're just the first layer of defense for them. You have been selected because you are mentally ill, and they intend to harness that mental illness not only to keep you in the program out of fear and addiction to perping, but also as the means for carrying out. I mean, think about it. Can you get someone in their right mind to do the kind of things that you do? And you can rationalize all day that you're special somehow because most people wouldn't do that kind of thing. Again, that's just the statistic that most people are not as mentally ill as you are. You can debate that all day, but what you know for sure is that you care about you, and I'm going to explain to you why participating in this program, even then, is a horrible idea because you're not safe. Again, not only are you the first layer of defense for your handlers, but they really actually intend to produce homicidal episodes with the targets. They want them to flip out, as you know. And, well, who do you think they're going to homicide if they do? The goal is that the handlers, they don't want to be targeted by targets, so they're going to structure it, as I said before, in layers to throw off, who's really planning this stuff out, who's really deploying you. And so, even if you just care about yourself, isn't it a horrible, horrible, horrible idea to have these, complaints and records of the targets complaining about you doing these things, and because they want to have those records in place so that when the or the target does flip out, they just look crazy and everything they're saying is discredited. So it makes it look like the program itself does not exist, and what you have is just a case by case basis of crazy people flipping out. But you can't. It's actually a lot more difficult than one might think to get a target to flip out, and go on a homicidal rampage. It does happen. Look at the case of Aaron Alexis, and so when they have a particularly important target, I won't get into too much detail, but this is what happens. They'll try to frame the target, and who do you think they're gonna? How are they going to frame the target? Well, they're going to make it look like the target did go on a homicidal rampage. And who do you think the person is going to get homicided is? Well, that would be you, perpetrator. And because you're such a good perp, it's not difficult at all for them to whack you. And there's already, as I said before, records of them complaining about you, interactions, so that they're going to frame the target by killing you. And it's not difficult at all for them to whack you because you're such a good perp, you follow orders so very, very well, they don't even have to really backstab you. All they have to do is hold a knife out and order you to walk backwards. And because you're such a good perp, yeah. Food for thought right there. Ideally, I would say, if you want out of this, get it right with God, blow the whistle on it, anonymously, maybe, at least. Uh, admit, at the very least, admit that you've been duped and that what you're part of isn't even safe for you or your kids or your so-called loved ones if you're capable of that. But if it's for sure not safe for you because they will waste you so quick, they'll you're even more dispensable than the targets are, because at least the targets they have long-term plans with. You guys are just dime a dozen sellouts for chicken feed, really. And you're mentally ill on top of that, so, well, it's a work in progress. But just food for thought right here. Have a nice day.